Well, in other news now, the UK's Conservative Party is in a state of disarray as the rift between its members deepens. Even as the Privileges Committee signs off on the much-awaited Partygate probe report, the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has trained his guns on his own party. Johnson has called for a Conservative MP on the Privileges Committee to resign. The former British Prime Minister claims that the Tory MP Bernard Jenkin himself attended birthday drinks parties in Parliament during COVID restrictions. He called his presence on the panel a total contempt of Parliament. The claim by Johnson has split the Tories between the middle. One side claims Johnson is showing desperation, saying that the former leader is trying to undermine the Privileges Committee, damning findings against him. On the other hand, staunch supporters of Johnson are building up pressure on Jenkin to resign. Now, reports say that the former Tory Deputy Chair, Jenkin, attended an event on December 8, 2020 in Parliament. It was reportedly the date of his wife's birthday, and the Deputy Speaker of Commons, Eleanor Lanning, had hosted the drinks party. The Privileges Committee has signed off on its report into whether Johnson lied to Parliament about the parties. The 30,000-word report is now out. Alex Izzat has more from London.
Now, the Privileged Committee report has ruffled more than a few feathers within the Conservative Party, with some Boris Johnson allies claiming it's vindictive and spiteful, and Johnson himself saying the conclusion that he misled Parliament is an outright lie. Now, the committee had recommended that Johnson lose access to Parliament and be suspended from the House for 90 days, but it's not as cut and dry as that, as now MPs will have the chance to debate the report on Monday, then vote on a sanction. Now, as Johnson has already quit as MP, he can no longer be subject to any suspension, but it's understood that MPs will vote on whether to remove his access to Parliament. Now, MPs can also change the punishment or remove any of it, and it will be up to Speaker Lindsay Hoyle to decide whether or not to accept the amendments. Now, the 108-page report that came out this morning UK time offers numerous examples of Johnson not sticking to COVID regulations and not seeking correct legal advice to determine if he was rule breaking. Outside of the evidence, it was one rule for Downing Street and another for the public. The committee also stated Johnson's campaign of abuse and intimidation of committee members constitutes a further significant contempt.